Alright, having done that question on the alimentary canal, now I want us to focus on this question falling under sexual reproduction in human beings. Okay, so we have the question says figure 3.0 summarizes the development process during sexual reproduction in human beings. So we have this N, and we also have this other sex cell, and the two are coming together in this process to form this one. Okay, and then this one here that is produced is then splitting, okay, to form two cells, and then the two cells are further undergoing another process to produce four daughter cells. So the question says on A1, identify the cells labeled N and P. Okay, so we have cell N and we have cell P. So cell N, we know this one is an egg. Okay, other terms that you can use, it is known as an oocyte. All right, so this is an egg and this is a zygote. All right, so since we have a zygote here and we have an egg, automatically this is making this one a cell, which is also known as spermatozoa. So on the question, they want you to identify N and P. We said N is the egg, P is the zygote. So here there's a process that is happening to form a zygote. Now let's go to question 2. Question 2 says name the processes 1 and 2. So they want you to name this process 1 and they also want you to name this process 2. Okay? All right. So you understand that an egg is going to fuse, the two nuclei of the two are going to fuse together to form a zygote in the process called fertilization. What is fertilization? It is the fusion of the sex cell of the spermatozoa as well as this oocyte to form a zygote, right? As this zygote is formed, this zygote, now we are finding that this let's call it a parental cell, is producing two daughter cells. So these two daughter cells that are formed from the zygote are formed by the process that we call mitosis. And then when these two daughter cells are further differentiated, or they are further broken down to form four daughter cells, or when they differentiate, the correct term to use there is differentiate. So once they differentiate, they are going to produce four daughter cells in the process we call meiosis. So here we have fertilization, here we have mitosis, and here we have meiosis. So the question says name process 1. We said process 1 is fertilization. Process 2 is mitosis, where two daughter cells are produced. Then the question also on B says suggest the part of the female reproductive organ in which process 1 takes place. All right, so they are asking you in which place in the female reproductive organ does fertilization occur. We know to say fertilization occurs in the ampulla of the fallopian tube. Okay, so we say fertilization is happening in the fallopian tube. All right, so if you're not able to use the word ampulla, you can simply say fallopian tube. So this is where fertilization is occurring in females. All right, having that said, let's go to the next question. The next question says, we've answered this one, the part of the female reproductive organ, and C says, explain what happens at stage R for identical twins to be produced. What happens at stage R for identical twins to be produced? So for identical twins to be produced, we are going to have it that a single sperm cell is going to fertilize this particular one, and it is going to produce the same DNA which is also produced in here, and that in turn is going to cause two twins that we call identical twins to be produced. Okay, that is just on a surface level, but I want you to do a bit of research on that so that you can learn better. Then we go on to D. D says describe two situations which can result in infertility and cause process 1 not to take place. Okay, so they are asking for us to suggest two situations that can result in infertility and cause process 1 not to take place. So process 1, which is known as fertilization. So what are the situations that will cause infertility, causing fertilization not to occur? So one of the reasons is when there is a low sperm count. So this is going to cause fertilization not to occur. So we have the low that count. Okay, that is number one. Another reason could be smoking, right? Smoking. Okay, so smoking, it can be, as someone is smoking, we know to say that is the one that is leading to this low sperm count. And as that is happening, another reason that can cause fertilization not to occur, it can be accidents. Apart from accidents, it can also be when someone gets castrated. When there's castration which happens, all that is going to cause fertilization not to occur. Or when we block the fallopian tube, when we also block the fallopian tube, all those are reasons why fertilization will not occur. I know the reasons are many, but to mention but a few, we've simply said low sperm count and a blocked, we said a blocked fallopian tube. All these are some of the reasons that are going to cause fertilization not to occur. So let's move on to another one. Let's move on to another question. All right, so let's see. Oh, amazing, we are done. I think this one, on this one, we did it in our previous video. We said, just a quick revision, we said this is your bicep muscle and this is your tricep and this is your bone, the scapula, and this is your ulna, right? So this bicep is also known as the flexor muscle. This tricep is also known as the extensor muscle. So this bone, which is usually S-shaped, is what we call the scapula. All right, and the question says, name one other pair of muscles. We had mentioned to say the other pair of muscles are those that are found in the iris, the radial and the sacral muscles. And this question says, what term is given to the pair of muscles T and R? So these muscles T and R, what term is given to them? They are known as antagonistic muscles. All right, so this marks the end of our quick revision in biology. We'll try to do more of these past papers, and if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions of the papers you want us to go through, feel free to put them down in the comment box. I'll go through those and we'll practice and make a video on that. So otherwise, have a blessed night and bye bye.